this point, everything happening for the Eagles, to put it professionally, feels really icky. It's gross. Like everything about what they look like. To get your asses kicked by the Giants when you have everything on the line is absolutely inexcusable. And there is no easy fix for getting beat on both sides of the ball by a team as bad as New York that really, frankly, if anything was incentivized, it would have been losing today for the Giants. I am absolutely shooketh that the Eagles would let that happen to them.
There's no guarantee Nick Sirianni doesn't get fired. I'm like, come on. What are we talking about? Nick Sirianni? And now after this game, I'm like, well, maybe. Like if they go to Tampa Bay next week and lose, boy, it's going to get hot in Philly. I mean, to go from 10-1 with the hopes of a Super Bowl champion, like you're 10-1, you have no reason. Like we knew they were getting lucky, but whatever. They're still in that position. To go from that to where they are now getting blasted by the Giants, and they took on some injuries here. A.J. Brown with the knee, Jalen Hurts with the finger, but that I don't think that was the reason they lost. Right? It's not like you look back and say, well, they lost because those guys got hurt. No, they were getting run before that. I can't tell you what's going to happen if they lose to the Buccaneers next week, but I'll tell you there's going to be a lot of angry people in Philadelphia if it happens, because this is just an embarrassing way to end your season, losing 5 of 6, including some just blowout losses and bad losses to bad teams. This is I have not seen the wheels just completely fall off of a team like this in a really, really long time, unless it's just massive injuries. You lose your quarterback and 3 other guys. Okay, that happens. But this, I know Hurts is playing injured and all this kind of stuff. This has just been a collapse, and Nick Sirianni has to answer for this.
The problem is there's no easy fix for whatever is ailing the Eagles, whether it's health or whether it's just, I think the coordinator changes have played a much bigger part in all of this than we expected. When it's all on the line and that happens, you got to wonder who is the person in that locker room right now that can get the pulse of the organization and turn it around, because somebody needs to get up and not do a win one for the Gipper speech. Somebody needs to get up and say, what the hell are we doing speech? Because It's absolutely inexcusable for a team with this much talent, injuries or not, to lay down to that football team.
There's already been stories leaking out about a lot of disagreements in the locker room, fractured locker room type of stuff. And I wonder if they do lose to the Buccaneers or whenever they lose, I mean, whether it's this week or next week, are we just going to get a flood of stories of like, oh my goodness, this Eagles team just fell apart in the locker room. And that's why and you can see it. Like, once you start reading those stories and then you watch them play, you can kind of see it. Like, yeah, this team don't look like they really like playing with each other right now. They look like they're just ready for the offseason. And that shouldn't be a case for a team that went to a Super Bowl last year.